our brain remembers the relief more than it remembers the regret. So what do we do, y'all? What do? We got to interrupt before this shift happens. We've got to interrupt by bringing our awareness into the equation. Y'all, you've heard it said before, awareness is the first step. It's actually very true. I like to talk about the 3 Ps. We talk a lot about this in Sober Sis. I mention it a lot throughout my 21-day reset challenge that begins at the beginning of every month. And the 3 Ps are critical, especially when you're on the edge of, should I drink tonight or not? Should I have one or none? Here's what I have found to be very fruitful. First, the first P is pre-decide. I don't know about you, but I know me. And I know if I have not decided before I walk into a friend's birthday party like I did last night, or a wedding, or a date night, or a girls' night out, or anything, even time in my own kitchen, if I haven't pre-decided what I'm going to do before I get in a very familiar setting where drinking has been something I was doing on autopilot, I will go back to what I've always done. It's just human nature. Again, it's not because you're weak-willed. It's because there is a neuro pathway that has been built that tells you this is the way we go. And our brain is actually wired to go the path of least resistance that consumes the least amount of energy. It is the most familiar. So if you're walking into a party, a wedding, a social event, or again, maybe you're just an at-home drinker and you always just pour a glass when you're cooking, sure enough, that is a time for you to go, okay, I know how this works. Pre-decide before you get there. You're going to have a lot better chance. In fact, that's why I invite you to join our Sober Sis community, because having a sisterhood of like-minded women who are also pursuing this pre-deciding in the same way, you can have accountability, you can have support, and you can really gain strength from each other, because I fully believe that we are stronger together than we are apart. We can link together and get support. So pre-decide. Second one is to pre-plan. Have some alternatives around. Maybe shake up your routine. If you're going to a book club or a friend's happy hour, BYOB. If you're walking into a happy hour and you can't BYOB, bring your own beverage, then already have it rolling off your tongue what it is you do want to order. Pre-plan. And listen, you don't have to justify the fact that you're not drinking to anyone. I know it's the only drug in the world that we feel like we have to justify not taking. But the truth is you don't have to justify it at all. Just walk in with a plan. Walk in with what you want to say. Walk in with what you want to drink. What I have done is I have discovered saying yes and smiling is better than saying no and frowning. So when I walk into a party and people are like, hey, can I get you a drink? I'm like, sure, yes. I'd love to start with some water. I've been running around all day. I'm just so thirsty. I'd love to start with water. And that gives me an opportunity to either check the menu, see what is in the cooler outside, or assess. I don't have to decide in the heat of the moment. I can pre-plan what I want to say and what I want to do. So I typically say, yes, I would love to start with some water. And that's worked well for me for quite some time. So you can use this tool for you as well. And then the third P, probably the favorite in our Sober Sis tribe, is playing the movie forward. So what this looks like is if you're thinking, should I have a drink or not? Should I open the bottle? It's 5 o'clock. Come on. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 5 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Should I open the bottle and have just one? Because again, maybe that's your intention, but chances are that rarely happens. If you can play the movie forward to what it would really be like, you got to be radically honest with yourself. What would it really look like for you to open that bottle of white wine? What would it really look like for you to pop a beer at 5 o'clock or whenever? Would you really just stick to one? Again, this is not a willpower issue. This is not a moral failure. This is the nature of the substance. It wants you to have more than one. It's an addictive substance. It creates a craving for itself. Your tolerance builds. So does your dependency to get the same effect. This is normal. You're not broken. Just your pattern is broken. So this is where you can go, oh, wait a minute. I know what happens. If I open a bottle, I might end up sipping mindlessly through the bottle throughout the whole evening. and just have a glass there while I'm cooking, a glass while I'm eating, maybe top it off while I'm cleaning the kitchen. And then, oh my gosh, before I know it, I'm three-fourths of the bottle down. I live in Texas, so we have really big pours here. I'm three-fourths of the bottle through, and I was just gonna have one. My goodness, maybe you weren't even gonna drink tonight. And then that's when I'd be like, oh wow, I've already blown it. I might as well just finish it off and have the last one in the bathtub. I call it the bottle breakdown. In fact, if you sign up for my 21-day reset challenge, you're gonna know this because I send you runway videos that help you prepare, and I have a whole video on the bottle breakdown. And that's when I think I'm just gonna have one. No, play the movie forward. Chances are it won't be just one. You can also play the movie forward if you don't have just one. How are you going to sleep tonight? Are you going to wake up at 3 a.m. with a dry mouth and a feeling of dread and a racing heart? Probably not. You may wake up at 3 a.m. anyway, but it won't be because of alcohol. And you can feel great the next day and not have that shame or regret or just defeat. Play the movie forward is a key.